In 2000 BCE, the most populous cities on Earth thrived in northwestern India, within a society called Meluha by ancient Mesopotamians. Today, most prefer the name Indus Valley Civilization for this ancient South Asian culture that flourished between 2600 and 1900 BCE and was centered partially around the Himalayan-fed Indus River. We do not know what the Indus civilization inhabitants called themselves, because we cannot decipher their writing. But through archaeology, we have recovered much about how the Indus people, ancient India's first city builders, lived, including their trade relations with ancient Mesopotamia. I cover highlights of India's first urbanization here, preceded by an account of how people came to populate the subcontinent in the first place and began to farm and domesticate animals. I close with the collapse of the Indus Valley Civilization by 1700 BCE, after which Indus cities were soon covered by dust. The ancient Indus civilization constitutes an early flourishing of Indian urbanization and mercantile prosperity, which built upon thousands of years of human ingenuity and lifestyle changes. First Indians. Humans initially populated the Indian subcontinent through waves of migrations. They hailed from Africa, as we all did originally, with the first Homo sapiens setting foot on subcontinental soil as early as 120,000 years ago. These initial migrants left no surviving lineage, however. The first people from whom modern Indians are partially descended, the first Indians, arrived in South Asia maybe 65,000 years ago. They were succeeded by numerous eastward-moving groups in subsequent millennia, including the first farmers around 7000 BCE, Indo-European speakers around 1500 BCE, and so forth. As migrants, the first Indians anchored South Asia, even in its prehistory era, as connected with other parts of the world. The first Indians experienced a subcontinent rather different than it appears to modern people today. Many food items we take for granted as important to South Asian cuisines and cultures were unknown in historic India. This includes dominant varieties of wheat, barley, and sugarcane, all New World crops, including potatoes, tomatoes, and chilies, and maybe even sandalwood. When ancient migrants first arrived in the northwestern subcontinent, there were neither cities nor farming, and they survived as hunter-gatherers. Still, the first Indians encountered one thing that remains familiar in our time: the annual monsoon. Every spring and summer, water evaporates from South Asia's surrounding oceans, aided by rising temperatures. The moisture is moved north by winds and trapped by the high mountain peaks of the Himalayas, a towering range created by the geological collision of two tectonic plates 50 million years ago and still rising every year. The water cools and condenses as it is pushed upward, forming clouds that roll back across South Asia, dumping torrential summer rains in an annual pattern. South Asian monsoons have fluctuated in volume throughout the eras, but the basic phenomenon has been experienced by all humans who have made the subcontinent their home.